They really paint this picture of black and white, right? The Jedis are good, the Sith are bad.
Yin and yang.
Yeah, so I mean, look at Anakin. Did you feel like he was gonna turn into Darth Vader all this time throughout the whole?
Well, first of all, I knew
Yeah, you
before I
knew.
watched, because Star Wars has been out for a very long time. People talk about it
Yeah.
here and there. I always see it somewhere, even though I don't intentionally look for it or look for any of it.
Mm.
I always see it somewhere in social media or like on YouTube. And so I've seen random things so many times where I know what happens or who's who.
Right, right.
But if I didn't know anything, I would not know. Not in the first movie.
Mm.
I would have a hunch in the second movie, and then at the end of second movie, I think I would know like, this guy. This guy's different. This guy really shows his emotions, and as a Jedi, where you're not really supposed to.
Mm.
And then by the end of the second movie, I think I'd be like, yeah, this guy's gonna go a different path than all these other Jedi. And by the third movie, we know for sure that, well,
A lot of people don't like the actor that acted as Anakin
why not?
because they said he was monotone.
What do you mean?
Like he didn't talk normally. Like he talked like monotone, like slowly, and like his acting was bad. But George Lucas explains that it was perfect because he knew that he was already turning to Darth Vader. I mean, everyone knew that because of the original trilogy, and he's saying how he was like he lacked to show empathy or like emotions like everyone else because he had a rough childhood. I mean, he was a slave for this guy, the flying blue dude. I forget his name. But supposedly, like it explains later on in like comics or storylines or whatever that he was being till like his arms were blue and his legs were blue, and his mom was also a slave, and so Qui-Gon, when he had the chance to like come back and free his mom because his mom was also a slave, they just took Anakin.
But he didn't get the chance to save his mom or to free his mom.
No, like there was plenty of times, but like as the Jedi Code explained, is that you can't have attachments,
Oh.
right? So they didn't like accept that. So they could have bought her off, they could have freed her, or they could have come back and saved her after all this time, because Anakin was like grown by that time, and then after that, he was trained as a Jedi by Qui-Gon against the Jedi Council, right? So he already feels like he was
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No, Qui-Gon at first, because Qui-Gon was like, no, I'll be the one to train him if you guys don't want to.
Oh, we're still in the first movie.
Yeah, we're still in the first one. And then after that, he's like rejected by the whole council, and Qui-Gon's like, nah, this boy different. He's the chosen one. And so the Jedi Council already like is rejecting. He feels rejected, basically, or I would imagine that he does. And then after that, he's like stronger than the council, and the council still doesn't want to give him any responsibilities, and then drives him further into Palpatine, which is manipulating him, but he's the one that supports him the most out of everyone. And so the Jedi Council is already losing him to the dark side without even knowing. And then he becomes a council member of the Jedi Order or the Jedi Council. And then he is not a Master Jedi. They reject him, and that is the first time that's happened. And so he thinks it's ridiculous, and they basically tell him that, hey, fuck off. You're either part of this or not. And then so at the end, like the cherry on top, the Emperor is just like, oh, there's ways to find
Power.
find power to save Padme. And then this, like, he's desperate at this point because he can dream the future. He proved that with his mom. Right? His mom was like calling for his help, and he couldn't go back because the Jedi Council said, no, like, don't let your visions block you. And so he goes, and he's too late. He feels fucking shitty because his mom has been calling out for so long.
And he could have done something, but the Jedi Order did.
He could have done something for so long. Couldn't do anything because of the Jedi Council.
His whole life, no?
Yeah.
He had dreams or nightmares of his mom.
I don't think his whole life, but like it's like it came back when she was actually in trouble. So he already knows that like he can dream the future, and then he dreams something about Padme dying, and so now he's desperate to help her. And then Emperor Palpatine says like, "Oh yeah, the Jedi know this, but you're not a master, so you can't see into the vault of like all the Jedi power because the Jedi Council limits the knowledge of what the Force can attain." And then he tells him, "It's like the dark side can do that. The dark side can help you there." And then he tells him the story of Palpatine's master, which is Plagueis, and he says that he can help him like realize that. So right now he's thinking about the dark side, but in a good way, as in like he just wants to save Padme. And so when Mace Windu goes and is about to kill the counselor, he's thinking of like what the right thing is to do, and it's like it's to stand trial. And Mace Windu is like, nah, he's like too dangerous to keep alive. And so he just provided a good option of like the good thing to do. And Mace Windu said something basically dark to like kill him off. And so he chooses to, you know, fucking kill Mace Windu. And Palpatine's like, oh yeah, like this is, you can now become my apprentice and I can help you save Padme. And so that's just like the cherry on top. Like the guy that he most trusted is all facade, and then the people that he looks up to, which is the Jedi Council, just told him something against the Jedi rules. So he was like conflicted this whole time. And that's what leads into the trilogy, that he was always conflicted. He did all this for Padme, and Padme ended up dying anyways. And so when Luke came in, I think that's like his final connection to like Anakin, and his conflict came back, and that is the only reason that he helped kill Palpatine.
I think hearing more details about the prequel that you may have missed and explained to you, like some of that of what you just told me right now, I kind of missed, or not missed, but didn't put together all the way. And I think hearing that makes the plot of the prequel and all the whole trilogy so much better,
like more significant, huh?
Yeah,